We're talking about the top 3 culture mistakes that cost you money, and best of all, how you can avoid them. Okay, so number 1, the first thing is that most owners don't really understand what culture is. That's the number 1 hands down first mistake. Often people think it's fluffy mission, vision, perks like bringing your dog to work, or soft stuff like feeling like a family. Those things might be pieces, but that in itself is not culture. So culture is the way that your business operates when you are not there. It is the guidelines, it is the incentives, and I'm going to explain it in a way about how you actually can lay out and build your culture. It is what helps people, from frontline people to managers to even you, make decisions. So culture is what tells people this is who we are and this is how we operate, okay? And so the way we actually clarify what culture is in a way that it can help a lot. So one of the benefits is that people understand how to make decisions without always having to go and ask for help. They can be more independent, right? And then they can also really live in the things that you want them to do. So one of them, there are 3 key things. It's carrots, sticks, and guardrails. So the second mistake that people make is that they think that having, family or people first or warm and fuzzy sounding is what it means to have culture. So they think that's what it means, and so they'll put that out there, but that's only a piece of it. It's not the full story. The full story is having the carrots, the sticks, and the guardrails, and I'll explain what that is. So incentives tell people what they're going to be rewarded for and what is negative in this organization and what can be penalized for. So incentives can be broken up into carrots and sticks. So for example, if you have performance metrics that say, okay, if you do this, you get a bonus. And it's even better if you can actually bonus people or take whatever reward that you give them and make it as close as possible to the action. If you do that, it'll sync even better for them. So taking whatever you want people to do, putting some kind of reward on that, whether it's a bonus, whether it's a employee of the month, whether it's an award, whatever it is, being able to reward that, provide an incentive, right? And so then on the other side is the sticks. So if there's a minimum performance that people need to have, they need to know exactly what that is. They also need to know what happens if I don't meet that, right? What is the performance improvement plan and timeline? And so they really need to know that. And so having those 2 things, those are the parts of the incentives, the carrot and the stick. The third thing that people really mess up when it comes to culture is they don't deal with negative behavior and understand that how you actually handle those tough times are some of the clearest definitions that are in your organization and to your people about culture. So for example, one of our core values is love, and we had a woman on our team who was super smart. She was head of M&A for another company that's top 7 pharmaceutical company before we brought her in. But she treated people terribly. And we tried coaching, we tried working with her, but fundamentally she didn't want to change and she didn't care. And she eventually was fired, right? And that's where guardrails come in. So one of our core values is around love and how we treat people, right? And being inclusive. And she violated many of our core values. And if I kept her on board, I would be telling the team, these core values are just fluff. It's stuff that we say, but we don't mean it. So when you actually make those decisions that say, this is not okay, that's when you put the guardrails around that tell people, okay, this is what this organization is about. And as a result of that, a bunch of people on the team came to me privately and said, oh, I feel such a relief with her not being here. Now, these people wouldn't have necessarily stepped up and said she needed to go, right? That's the difference between being a leader. A leader is the one who steps up to make the call. And actually even had my lawyer reach out and say I had been concerned, the lawyer, that she could actually put the company at risk with some of her behavior. Clear culture that will really help you scale your business and help your team understand what's expected and make decisions and help you sleep at night. So, what are your questions around culture? Tell me, what are your carrots? What are your sticks? What are your guardrails? What are your core values? So I'd love to hear what you got out of this. And so let me know where you have questions and where you got value. See you in the next video.